So here's a bike that seemingly very few people seem to remember. It's an Alcata. It's an Alcata Black Panther Dior DX. Now, I remember these bikes very well. Alcata was the sort of high end, if you like, the high-end models that Townsends bikes produced, and of course they got associated with the cheaper Townsends bikes and the brand disappeared quite quickly as a consequence. But actually these were really cool bikes. It was your full Dior DX group set, right through, Dior DX all the way through to the hubs, and then the hubs were laced to these really lovely black Araya RM20 rims. Yeah, so these bikes were built in 1991, and most of them met the same fate, and that was they were bought up by local bike shops, because at one point, due to the association with Townsends, I think, damaging the brand somewhat, local bike shops could buy these up so cheap that it made sense to buy them as complete bikes and strip them down for all these Dior DX bits. So it was a cheap way for bike shops to get hold of Dior DX group sets. So that's the fate most of them met. They were stripped down. But actually, it was a really nice frame, chromoly frame, but feels very similar to ride to a Marin of the same era. So let's say 1991, and a lot of the same features as the Marin as well. So little bits like this cable guide and that you would recognise from a Marin frame. This one's actually got a Marin saddle on it. I think they came with the turbo saddles on them originally. Top tube cable routing, and the SLR Shimano SLR brake levers. But yeah, it was an underrated bike, really. It rode similar to a Marin of the same era. But yeah, they all went the same way, unfortunately. They were bought and stripped for parts, a lot of them, as a cheap way to get hold of a DX group set. So to find one complete like this is quite rare, and this one had a massively stuck seat post in it, which took me a long time. I was on the verge of giving up, to be honest, but eventually it did come free. And it's all been greased, it's all been rust protected inside, and I'm nearly done with it now. It's almost there, really. It's ready to go to a new home. But yeah, just a cool bike that you don't hear about very often these days, because not many of them survived. But yeah, I really like it. It's got a lot going for it, this bike, and it looks really cool with its matte black paintwork too. Proper 90s bike. Alcata Dior DX.